remarkable, successful 30-year titan in business with having multiple businesses that generate multiplied millions of dollars.
And if that plan happens to be to build $1 million company, which I can help you do.
But he's humble. He's a man of God. He's a family man.
The world's news organizations are built on everything but positivity.
He is an influential entrepreneur and business figure for over 30 years.
I've got to forecast. I've got to pronounce. I've got to project. I've got to share with you my ideas, my vision, my goals for not only myself, but for you.
That's why he's came up with his incredible concept of taking and creating a platform for people that are wired differently.
And you got to understand that your habits of your person and your habits of your business and your habits of your spirituality have to lead to the North Star of who you are. We need to figure out who we want to be in life.
Who do we want to be in life? Man, I listen to that intro time and time again. I know maybe some of us are wondering, hey, man, what are we going to do with this? What are we going to do with this guy, Todd Saylor? I want to tell you right now that I love what I do. I love this show. I love everything that's going on here. And it's just a blessing. So basically what I want to talk to you about today, hey, I got some feedback going on here. Let me all right. How's that sound, everybody? Listen, good morning, good morning, good morning. Today's a special day. I got a setup I want to talk to you about. I want to give you a little bit of I can't get things. Where is my cross? Come on. There we go. I got to reverse everything. Oh, no. Abby's calling. What's up, Abby? It's a chipmunk again. Well, should I roll? Okay, so I'm the chipmunk again. Listen, everybody, I'm the chipmunk. I don't know how the chipmunk happens, but listen, it's a very serious day. It's Juneteenth, and I've become a chipmunk. Well, let's talk about Juneteenth. Check this out, Abby. Is this better? Is that better? Am I good? I gotta get back to your live. All right. Check me out. I don't know. My grandson gets in here, and I got to check all these things to see what's been pushed, what hasn't been pushed. I'm going to go cray-cray today. What do we got, Abby? No, you're still chipmunk. All right, chipmunk. Chipmunk. Let me put my headset on here. I do have a serious topic to talk to you about. Let's see here. How's that? Because I'm not getting the feedback. How's that? Still chipmunk? Chipmunk? Am I chipmunk or regular Todd? Chipmunk. Well, it will not.
How's this one? Small robot. How's this one?
Yeah, that's the robot.
Robot. It won't come off, chipmunk. Alright, now try this. What's this robot?
All right, I should be regular now. Give me the green light. I am not a robot. I am not a chipmunk. All right, we're live. We're live. Listen, man, this is live. This is radio. This is TV. This is podcast. This is absolute insanity. I apologize for the mixer mishap. It happens on occasion. I'm going to be coaching my good friend Brandon Eckel today, and he's doing a great job in his podcast. And he's going to say, bro, what happened on your podcast this morning? I'm going to say I turned into a duck. I turned into a small robot. I got to tell you, man. Anyways, let's get right to it. We got lots of followers on right now. I want to talk to you about Juneteenth. I want to talk to you about the holiday that we missed yesterday. We did Father's Day. This whole week, I've kind of been one day behind. I haven't even got to the topic that I thought I was going to be talking about on Monday, because I took Monday at the last minute and moved it into Father's Day. And we had a great show for Father's Day, man. It was just a phenomenal. Abby, thanks for bailing me out on that situation. I don't know, man. I love my job. I love my life. I love everything that I do. And I love the chaos that comes with live podcast stuff. That's why most people don't do stuff live because, stuff like this happens, But today's today's a holiday for me because yesterday was a holiday that I missed. And it was, Sunday was a holiday I missed, so I celebrated it on Monday. And then today's Tuesday, and I missed the holiday on Monday, so I'm celebrating on Tuesday. So you could say I'm a day behind, but really you could say maybe I'm on time. Anytime I think you make up for something or you repent or you say you're sorry for being a duck, not once but twice, chipmunk, not once but twice. Anytime you're like willing to recognize that you've made a mistake or you've done something that's not been exactly perfect in the life of your influence. I mean, I think you need to go back. I think you need to say, hey man, I missed something. So I missed Father's Day. I couldn't get Father's Day on Sunday, so I did it on Monday. And today I want to celebrate Juneteenth. About 2 years ago, when Juneteenth became a national holiday, I did a show on it. And somehow last year, I think I missed the holiday. I really think this is an important holiday. I think it's a holiday that we should all celebrate. And my comment this morning is that even though Juneteenth is a Black person holiday celebrating a Black person's emancipation, the freedom to be free in this country, the fact that we even have to have that conversation is kind of mesmerizing and such. I still want you to understand that in the world that we live in now, the world that we aspired to live in back then in 1863 and 1865, we're going to talk about that a little bit, was that this is a white person's holiday too. And I want us to recognize that we need to look at it that way. This is not a Black person's holiday. It is a holiday around the Black person's plight, but it's a holiday that America is celebrating as a nation. America is celebrating the freedom, the change of the situation that was horrific. It's a day to celebrate the freedom that America as a country made a decision through blood and tears and horror to change the way the world was. Now, none of us here sitting here 150 years ago, none of us were alive back then. Some of us had grandparents that were affected by it and this and that. But we're living in a world now post-Civil War, post-slavery, right? But it still carries with us. There's still a burden of our ancestors, if you will. And I think it's important that Juneteenth recognizes both sides of this equation. Juneteenth 19th is an amazing day, and I think we should celebrate it. And I feel a little bit like I left it out. And not because I'm not doing a show and I didn't do it on it yesterday. It's because I did a show on yesterday. It was Father's Day, but it wasn't that I chose Father's Day over Juneteenth. It was that I chose Father's Day because I was aware of Father's Day. I wasn't aware of Juneteenth. I wasn't aware of June 19th. It's a new national holiday. It's come up on us pretty quick here. It's 21, 22, 23. So this is the third one. President Biden announced it June 19th or maybe the day before or something in 2021. You can go back and look in the archives of my YouTube or any of my other broadcasts. I did a show on that talking about slavery and what it meant. Last year, I don't think I was doing live shows exactly at that time, and maybe that's why we missed it. But I don't remember celebrating it. This year, though, I do remember missing it on Monday because I did Father's Day. So I want to talk to you about June 19th today, and I want to talk to you about why it is a white person's holiday. It's a Black person's holiday. It's a national holiday. And I just want to get out a little bit of culture. I want to get out a little bit of knowledge on June 19th. June 19th, and I'm just going to actually read this. Basically, in Texas in 1965, 2 months after the surrender at Appomattox, there was a general. The general's name was Galveston. He marched into Texas, and he basically created martial law to free the slaves. The war had been won. It's over with. And the slaves in Texas that were basically confined to be slaves were freed. Now, I know that a lot of us know the history better than others. And I want you to understand that this history is in the history books. This history is in books that maybe some of us read, some of us don't read. And there's always a flip side to everything. And I'm not trying to take a white side or a black side here. Don't hear me at all. I'm taking America's side. I'm taking people's side. I'm taking humanity's side. And if you take humanity's side, you're going to realize it's going to take the plight of the black man, the black person. It's going to say, man, we got it wrong back then. I mean, humanitarian people know that we got it wrong. So let's move forward. But we can't move forward unless we address the past. And I think Martin Luther King Day was a great national holiday, but it didn't really address the Freedom Day. It didn't really address the clear freedom or the true emancipation. You see, President Lincoln announced the Emancipation Proclamation 2 years prior to the victory of the Civil War in Appomattox, the surrender, the final surrender. And so half the country was split. We had half the country that was like, let's go to war. It's bigger than the people we're going to lose. Let's win this war for freedom. Let's free the slaves. Let's get it done. The North says, let's go. The North was full of white people. But those white people said, we can't live like this. We don't want a country that supports a situation like this. So we went to war. President Lincoln was brave enough to say, we're going to war. We're going to divide the country in half. And at the end of this, come heck or high water, the slaves will be free. It's a long road, long, vicious road. So the war goes on. Emancipation Proclamation happens. President Lincoln takes all kinds of deals, but borrows, twists, steals, does whatever he can do to get the votes he needs to make this happen. He literally creates battle scenes and maneuvers things around to make the South surrender, to do the best they can to preserve as many lives as possible. Ultimately, many lives died, lots of blood shed, lots of black people's blood shed, lots of white people blood shed. This was a bloodshed stain on America, but it is what it is. It came over with England and Britain and all that, and we carried it forward, and this country took some time, but we corrected the ways of our ancestors, and we became the United States of America. And in 1865, the Civil War was over, and Galveston marched into Texas, one of the largest slave states, and said, listen, damn it, free those slaves, get them out of confinement, get them out of the cages, get them out of all the things that they're doing. They're free. The war has been won. Let's get it on like Donkey Kong. Let's change the world. Let's shock the world. Someday there's going to be an internet. There's going to be a dude by the name of Brandon Tatum, and he's going to talk the truth. There's going to be a dude by the name of Todd Saylor that's going to talk the truth. But there's going to be a dude by the name of Martin Luther King that's going to have to continue to wage the war, to fight the war, to continue this mindset change in America. The bottom line is I want to get across to you that, my friends, my dear friends, Juneteenth is a white person's holiday too. We have to understand it. We don't have to like everything about slavery. We don't have to like everything about the way the black people talk sometimes or the white people talk sometimes. We don't have to like all of it. We just have to understand it. We have to try to understand it. If we don't try to understand it, we'll never reach enlightenment. We'll never be free in our own spirits, our own souls. And what God has called us to do is to love our brother, right? Love our brother, even our enemies, as if we love ourselves. How do we love ourselves? I want you to double check right now. How much do you love yourself? Because if you love yourself the way I think you love yourself, then I think you need to love your brother that way. And if you love your brother that way, you got to love the black person, the black man, the black woman. You got to understand, or more importantly, love the plight. Now you say, Todd, why are you all preachy this morning? And why this or that? I thought you were conservative and blah. You know, at the end of the day, I'm a Christian. I'm a man. I'm a humanitarian. I don't like the double standards of the white man. I don't like the double standards of the black man. We both got them, but right now we're not talking about a double standard. We know the facts, the truth, the heralded marks of our lives and history, that there was slavery. There was brutal beatings. There was families being sick. I saw roots. I saw roots when I was like 12 years old. It wrecked my brain. I'm like, Dad, how could this happen? Is this true? And my dad said, yes, son, it's true. There was a real Kunta Kinte. I believe so, son. How was he supposed to know? They didn't teach any of this stuff. I'm so glad they put the movie Roots up there. And I got to tell you, Roots probably did it a little light. Kids in America don't get to see Roots. They see YouTube. They see TikTok. They see all these things, right? Maybe they should see Roots. That scared me straight, man. I remember watching Roots when I was a kid and wondering, I want to understand more. I don't understand this. Why do I feel so icky, right? Well, I'm giving white people right now the permission not to feel icky. You do not need to feel icky about our ancestors. You do not need to feel icky about being white. You do not have to be ashamed of being white. You do not have to feel like you and your ancestors created this awful, awful situation because you didn't do it. It's something that happened 150 years ago in an 1865 emancipation, 1863 Emancipation Proclamation happened. 1865, the slaves were free because mostly the white people came to the rescue of the black enslaved people. I know I'm not even looking at my comments right now. I'll look at them when I'm ready. I have a lot of black friends. And they'd be the first to tell you that, yes, a large fraction of white people freed the black people in 1865 in the Civil War. And so I guess the calling to white people right now is that I want you to understand this is your holiday too, a national holiday made to celebrate the freedom of the rest of America. July 4th is Independence Day, and we were freed from the Brits. On the other side of the pond, we were freed from the British rule, the monarchy. We became our own country. That was a big, big move, but we still had inherited wealth and inherited trauma, inherited slavery from that, and we had to break away from it at some point, but we just didn't do it for about 100 years. I don't know. I wasn't back there back then. Don't blame me or my grandpa. All I know is that we got freed from Britain, and then for 100 years, we utilized slavery in half of the country as it grew, and the other half didn't do it, and they knew it was wrong. And then finally, a president by the name Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president, probably the greatest leader this world has ever known, was brave enough to actually give his own life to put the entire country at risk. Abraham Lincoln did something that most of us need to do in our own lives when we're doing even business deals and relationships. We need to be willing to blow the deal to make the deal. June 19th, Juneteenth is a national holiday, and I just want to get it out there and tell everybody that this is a national holiday now. This is a white holiday. This is a black holiday. This is something that we all should take pride in, that we were a part of freeing this country and freeing the black person from enslavement. And so what I really wanted to confess is that I did miss it on Monday. I did miss it, man. I don't watch the news in the morning anymore. I get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock. I start studying. I put my program together. I never turn the news on. I go to bed at night. I haven't turned the news on. I'm just working so hard at all this, and I just feel almost emancipated myself from the national media. So I don't even know if the networks that I've been watching would have even showed it or made a big deal out of it. But it got by me, and I feel bad about that. But we're talking about it today. And so the way I found out about it was I tried to call my doctor. I said, Doc, pick up the phone. I want to set up an appointment for my prostate check or whatever we were going to do. You got to do this as a man, right? You got to get your prostate checked. I digress. But they wouldn't answer the phone. 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 I called back at 9. I called back at 10. They didn't answer the phone. I'm like, what is going on with this place? So then I went to the internet and I started looking some things up, and I said, hey, let me check my stock price. So I went to check my stock price, and I looked at my stock price, and it was frozen. I said, what's going on? Why is my stock not going up? Why is it not moving? So I pick up the phone. I called Heather. I said, Heather, today a national holiday or something? She goes, yeah, it's Juneteenth, June 19th. I said, oh my gosh, it's a banking holiday. It's a national holiday. A few facts about the national holiday of Juneteenth is that it's recognized as a national holiday, but it's not recognized as a state holiday in approximately 20 states. And I thought to myself, I wonder what states are what. And so I'm just going to call out a few states right here. So this is a chart of, let me go to this side here. This is a chart of all the states that recognize Juneteenth is a paid day off. So a national holiday says all the government workers, they get the day off. It's a paid day off. The doors are closed all over the country. But it's incumbent on the states, which very little people know, it's incumbent on the states to adapt it as a state holiday for their government offices to close or be open or to be recognized. So I have some good friends in Indiana, and I have some good friends in Florida, and I have some that one is a state congressional person. I have a state congressional person in both states, and I have budding congressional partners in both states coming up. One is Chuck Goodrich. He's running for Congress in the state of Indiana, which I'm excited to support him. And I have another good friend, Scotty Moore, who's running for Congress in Florida. And I'm going to tell both of these men, because if you notice that Florida and Indiana are red, and the red states are the states that do not recognize Juneteenth as a national holiday. Now, I'm not doing this to try to pander to anybody. I'm just doing it because I believe it's a national holiday. It's the president of the United States, President Joe Biden made it a national holiday. It's a national, whether you like it or not, it's a national holiday. I think it's a good move. One of the few things Joe Biden has done that I've agreed with. This is a good one. And here's the deal. So he makes it a national holiday, but the states all don't make it a state holiday. How can that be? Well, each state is run by a governor, and each governor decides its own legislation. Each state is run like its own little country, and there are national things they have to abide by, and there's state things that they can rule and judge on. That's why there's state laws for weapons, and there's state laws for driving. They're all different throughout states because they're not national laws. Federal laws encompass the whole country. State laws encompass those laws that are different, like minimum wage. There's a national minimum wage, but each state can have a minimum wage that's different as long as it's higher than the national minimum wage. Think about that for a second. So here we are in Indiana and in Florida. In 2021, President Joe Biden made Juneteenth a national holiday, and we happen to be two of the states of 20 that have decided not to abide by the national holiday in the states of Juneteenth. Now, I want Governor DeSantis, and I want the Indiana, his name's eluding me right now. I want my friend Chuck Goodrich to get on the bandwagon and understand that this time we get this done and quit lollygagging around. This is a national holiday, damn it, and we want it in our states because we need to recognize that this is a national day. This is a white person's holiday. This is a black person holiday. This is a brown person's holiday. This is an all race holiday. I mean, we're all working at this together. And one of the other things that I wanted to talk to you about was how I really came on this thought process of this show today. I'm following a good friend of mine. Name is Officer Brandon Tatum. I don't know if any of you follow him, but he is an amazing man. And I became friends with him on the Battleground Tour. I got to go to 9 cities with him, and probably 7 different states. We were in 2 in Ohio. But it was an amazing tour on a private jet. It was amazing. We did a lot of great work for this country. I got to do a lot of great work for God, and I have great relationships now with Mike Gallagher and Sebastian Gorka, and Brandon Tatum has just become a remarkable friend. He was there with me most recently when I had a really difficult situation with my father. He prayed with me. He put his arm around me. He's encouraged me. He has texted me in many occasions to see how my dad and how life is doing, and is committed to have me on his show at some point. I'm excited to do that with him. If you go to TikTok, some people follow TikTok, and I kind of follow TikTok once in a while, and now I'm starting to pick it back up. You can see my TikToks, Todd Saylor, Wired Differently, picking up. But I follow Brandon on TikTok. In one of the videos he played the other day that popped up was this video right here about, let's see, Harriet Tubman. And when I saw this video, I thought, man, this really made me think. And I wanted to just play this video real quick and then talk about it a little bit and run through some things. So here we go. Think about this. This is why this is a national holiday. It's an all humanity holiday.
I know we all heard about Harriet Tubman. What a wonderful, beautiful hero she was. Did you know that Harriet Tubman was married when she started the Underground Railroad? Raise your hand if you knew she was married. Raise your hand if you knew that Harriet Tubman actually lived with her husband, who was a free black man. Raise your hand if you knew that. And raise your hand if you knew that her husband told her not to do it, and he would forever go down in history as a coward. But her husband said, don't do it. She was married, living with her husband, who was a free black man, when she started the Underground Railroad. Now, I want you to put this in perspective. Who do you think helped Harriet Tubman in the Underground Railroad? It was white people. She wasn't going to black people's houses and escaping to the north to La La Land. She was going to the north where black people were free, and white people helped them all along the way. Good white people who never believed in slavery, believed that it was wrong, it was an ill, it was a sin, always helped black people escape slavery and become free. We've always worked together from the very beginning of time to do great things in this country. I know.
So I wanted to play that. I wanted you to see what I saw and what caused me to really think. And this was a situation where Brandon, I watch Brandon often, obviously because he's my friend, but he's just doing a great job. He's doing a great job for America. He's stepping out, and he's doing something a little unconventional, a little unusual. He is a black man in America, but he is literally looking, I feel like he's looking at both sides very, very aggressively. I think he works at understanding the plight of the black man and the history and the plight of the black man, but he's also has some understanding of what the white person feels right now, what we're going through as the culture kind of shifts a little bit, a lot, if you will. And the white person starting to feel, I don't think we'll ever feel certainly we'll never feel what a black person felt back in the day. And I don't know that we'll ever feel what a black person feels now. But I do know that there are some times where we feel different than we normally felt because of the culture that changed, some of the laws and everything that's working. And I really believe it's a good thing. I believe it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing that we recognize what the past was and where we're going in the future. So my job is to encourage you, love you, motivate you, inspire you. But I'm also here to educate you a little bit and cause you to think. Brandon has made me think. My good friend Harold Reed has made me think. I have a lot. Dr. Delator McNeil has made me think. But right now, I want you to think about Juneteenth and how that it is a white person's holiday also. We were part of fixing this mess that this country got into over slavery. We were a big part as a race of perpetuating it, and we were a big part of solving it. And so what I want to challenge Florida and Indiana, that's all I can challenge right now. I live in both states. Come on, man. I want you to literally celebrate Juneteenth as a state holiday. Chuck Goodrich, my good friend, you can do this. You can make it happen when you become a congressman. You can push the envelope. I know you've done it. You've done it before. Scotty Moore, when you win in the congressional seat in Florida, I know it's something you'll put on your docket because you're a man. I support both of these men financially, and I support them spiritually, and I support them in a brother to them. I really think that can get done. It's a little thing maybe for me to say, but at the end of the day, why wouldn't all the states recognize Juneteenth? It did take 17 years for the country to recognize Martin Luther King as a state holiday in all states, but I'm going to tell you, we're going to do it a lot quicker for Juneteenth. All right, I want to wrap this up. I want to tell you guys that I'm proud of you. I want to tell you guys that everything that's going on right now is a good thing. I think Brandon Tatum is onto something. I think this country is onto something. I think Joe Biden did an amazing job by making this a national holiday. My job today is to inspire you, motivate you, love you, encourage you, and all those things. But my specific job today is to help you understand that Juneteenth is a national holiday. And I want you to understand these words from my lips. It is a white person holiday also. We've been doing things together since we can remember. We are but 100 years old in most of our eyes or less. We got into slavery together. We got out of slavery together. We run this country together. There's still things we've got to work on, but we can do it. We're the greatest civilization that's ever been created. We're the only civilization that has the freedom that this country offers constitutionally, from spoken word to carrying arms to all of the things that go along with being an American. It's at risk, and we're at risk to ourselves. And the one thing we can work on today is to not be at risk when it comes to loving our brother. So let's do this thing, man. It's so simple. Love your brother as you love yourself. Love your enemy. Do the things God's called us to do. Come on. A lot of good work's been done. Don't let it get ruined. Don't be a part of the hater club. Be a part of the growing club. Follow my friend, Brandon Tatum. He speaks the truth. He searches the truth. I'm going to continue to do that. Thanks for letting me celebrate Juneteenth a day late. Thanks for allowing me to be your friend. Thanks for understanding that it does take a little bit of extra energy, a little bit of gumption to get on here and talk like this. And I love you. I mean well. And I'm going to keep fighting for us because we're wired differently. We just do things differently. God bless you. You know I love you. I love you.